All right, here we go, man. Let me plug the joint. I gotta hold the microphone and shit. Audio quality been a little skittish lately and shit. Gotta hold the joint so y'all hear my voice loud and clear. Yo, let me plug the joint though. Ladies, this is for y'all. If you put out without a date, will he still take you out? Now, this was brought to you due in part to a Facebook post I came across. And I'm going to share that in just a moment. Let me say this to both men and women. This is a public service announcement for both men and women. Let me make myself clear. Everybody has been tainted, both men and women. When it comes to dating, relationships, marriages, whatever type of relationship you may have embarked on in your adult life. I'm not talking about no teenage shit. I'm talking about adults, right? Grown folk shit. Everybody has been tainted. Zach, what do you mean by tainted? Both men and women have been tainted. And what I mean by that is this. We all have had experiences that wasn't the most favorable or pleasing experience when it comes to the opposite sex. We've all encountered situations where we were interested in somebody and they was on some goofy shit. We've all encountered that. Everybody's been tainted by an experience that they can look back on and be like, man, that was some goofy shit right there. I don't know what the hell that person was thinking. I don't know what the hell they was on. We've all experienced it. Everybody's been tainted. So when you deal with the opposite sex, you're literally taking a calculated risk because you don't know what the future holds, right? You don't know if your time with that person is going to be a night, a week, a month, a year, 10 years. Oftentimes you don't know. Now, sometimes you might, like on some one night stand shit, you might know this is going to be a one-time deal and I'm out, right? You might know that. But a lot of times when you deal with people, you can't often predict how long that person may have access to you. So as long as they got their motherfucking mind right? Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just gotta see what how it plays out and what happens. Ladies, if you put out without a date, will he still take you out? So let me hit y'all with this shit, man. Facebook post. So this young lady says, once he get the cat without taking you out, he's never gonna take you out. That's not true. That's a myth. That's a fallacy. And let me just say this. She's a very disingenuous woman. Chanel Brown is very, very disingenuous. I'm gonna show you what I mean by she's being disingenuous. The problem that I have with people who make statements like this, she made this statement as if it was 100% fact, that it was 100% guaranteed that if you have sex with a man who doesn't take you out on a date first, he will never take you out. Now, let me just say this to all women. Just because you have sex with a man doesn't mean he owes you anything. He don't owe you nothing. Just because you had sex with a man doesn't mean he owes you a date. And for all you fellas, just because you take a woman out on a date doesn't mean she owes you sex. We live in this world where people think they're owed shit. Nobody owes you a motherfucking thing, right? So let's peep some comments underneath her Facebook post. So this young lady says, this a hit or miss. I've given it up and got took out to Ruth Chris the next day. And we stayed together for a while. So she's basically telling her, nah, this ain't accurate, right? And she's basically saying, yes, you're going to encounter some men who may never take you out on a date if you have sex first. And she also saying, you might encounter some men where you do have sex first and they take you out later. See, this woman understands. She's a mature, grown woman. She understands, right? And she understands that if I'm sexually attracted to a man and if I have sex with him and nothing comes of it beyond that sexual encounter, I'm a big girl. I got my big girl drawers on. I got my big girl pants on. If nothing happens beyond that sexual encounter, oh well, right? And it's okay to be disappointed. Now, Tanil, This is where I say she's disingenuous. Her response to that was, depends on a man, but it definitely happens. Oh, so you said it depends on a man, but it definitely happens. But her post was, once he get the cat without taking you out, he's never gonna take you out. Now, let's be clear. Let me take that off. Let me take that off. To Neil, she's probably coming from a place of bitterness where she's met some men that she was sexually attracted to, where she probably liked those guys, right? And she wanted more than just sex. But, she gave in to her carnal desires and she had sex and nothing came of it. And this is what I would tell all women. Women, just because you have sex with a man, one, it doesn't mean that he owes you anything beyond that sexual encounter. Two, women, here's a news flash. Y'all are not going to be compatible sexually with all men. See, the problem with a lot of women, they think that all men are compatible with women because they have a vagina. Like, all a woman got to do is have a vagina that gets wet, a man sticks it in, and because he's having sex with her, he should be good now because he got something to fuck on. No, women, some of y'all suck in bed. Some of y'all can't suck a dick to save your life. Right? You tell a chick to get on top. She out of breath after 5 strokes and shit. Right? Some of y'all are just bad in bed. Some of y'all are not really good lovers. Right? So sometimes the man might be like, she's cute, but damn, the box is whack. She either don't suck dick or she do, the shit is whack. And they really don't want to deal with you beyond that. There's no sexual compatibility on his part. Right? So that happens. Right? But also, let me say this, and this might be a shocker for some of y'all women. Some of y'all really aren't likable. Like, you're really not. Some women, look, let me be clear. Some of y'all have great bait. When I say you have great bait, meaning you can attract men to you sexually. You got mad options when it comes to sex. Like, dudes want to fuck you. But when it comes to a thorough, solid dude, a dude who's on point, a lot of these dudes don't want to stick around because they don't like you. There's something about your personality. And I'm going to tell you right now, y'all know me, my favorite word is deference. Humble submission and respect. If I don't see that and we have sex and I realize real quick there's no deference on your part, there's no real submission, you're kind of hard-headed, you got a slick mouth, why would I take you out on a date? Why would I take a woman out on a date who's indignant? She got a slick mouth. She always got something to say. She always trying to challenge her brother. She got a pissy attitude and shit. She don't know how to show gratitude and appreciation. And let me just say this about that. Okay, and I want women to understand this. I don't think women understand how fortunate that a lot of them are that men are even showing an interest in. Like, and I ain't talking about sexual. I'm not even talking about sexual. I'm talking about men who are actually offering dates, right? Because we know this for a fact. We know a lot of women, not all of y'all, but a good number of y'all will accept a date from a man they are not sexually attracted to. They will accept a date. And in fact, they will accept multiple dates in some cases from a man they are not sexually attracted to. You know that man is sexually attracted to you. You know you're not going to fuck him, but you are accepting these dates anyway. And you know it's just a matter of time before you dip out on them, right? But then we get posts like this. Once he gets the cat without taking you out, he's never going to take you out. And Tanil, I'm certain that Tanil is either guilty of this herself or she knows women that will take advantage of a date being offered to them by a man they're not really attracted to simply because a date is being offered. They want to eat for free. They want to be entertained for free. And they'll take the dates. Now, let me just say this in the defense of women. Okay, I don't give a fuck about women using y'all. Okay, I don't care about women using men. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it's y'all's fault. You guys, it's y'all's fault that y'all put yourselves in these predicaments for women to take advantage of your kindness or your generosity. This is why I tell you guys, strictly deal with women on your terms. Let me say this, ladies, a man does not owe you non-sexual attention or intimacy because you fucked her. Guys, a woman does not owe you access to her sexually because you spent some money out on a date. Now, let me say this about dates. Right? Let me plug the joint. If you put out without a date, will he still take you out? Let me say this about dates. There's two typical reasons why a man would offer a date. Ladies, listen up. There's two typical reasons why a man would offer a woman a date. And women already know the first one. The first one is he feel like he got to take you out. He feels like to win your affection or to gain access to you sexually, he has to take you out. The main reasons why the majority of guys out here even offer dates to begin with is either a combination of the two or one of the two. They're trying to gain access to the woman sexually and or they're trying to impress her or win her affection. It's a combination of the two or one or the other. And that's why they're offering dates. Because these same guys that offer dates to women because they think that they have to get to the sex, if women told these motherfuckers straight up, you ain't got to do a date with me, we can go back to your place and fuck right now. A lot of these guys would cancel that date in a heartbeat. Okay, cool. This is how you know a lot of guys, they don't even know how to date. They don't do dates for them. They date for pussy. A lot of these guys out here that are spending money on dates, they're doing it for sex. And that's the wrong way to do it. And this is why motherfuckers be having expectations. Speaking of expectations, because both men and women are guilty of this shit, expectation is the root of all heartache. Both you men and women listening. Nobody owes you a motherfucking thing. Women, nobody owes you a date. No man owes you a date. No man owes you to spend a night with you after y'all have sex. No man owes you to spend time on the phone with you, getting to know you. No man owes you to stay online and talk more online because you want to do that goofy shit. A man don't owe you a motherfucking thing. Men, women don't owe you either. Just because you offer a date, a woman is not obligated to show up to that motherfucker. Now, if she was a courteous, respectful woman who had a sense of appreciation and gratitude, she would show her ass up simply because she told you she would. And that's just being a person with integrity. That had nothing to do with her being sexually attracted to you. That's just her being a person of integrity. She said she would do it. She's a person of her word. She does it. Just like when you guys offer a date. You don't flake on a woman when you offer a date as a man. No, you stick to the date. You offered it. Being a person of integrity. And that's the problem with a lot of y'all motherfuckers. When I say y'all, some of y'all that might be listening, but I'm saying y'all just talking about people in general. Expectation is the root of all heartache. Nobody owes anybody anything. When you deal with someone of the opposite sex, it's a calculated risk. It's a calculated risk. There are pros and cons associated to dealing with new people. There just is. Now, you can make a decision once that person shows you their ass, you can make a decision to get rid of them. If you keep fucking with them after their ass has been shown to you, that's on you then. Now, let me get to the second reason. I've been kind of rambling and shit. Why a man would want to take a woman out on a date? Because he likes you. He genuinely and sincerely likes you. He enjoys your company. That's the second reason. So for all you women who feel like, well, if I have sex with him first, I'll never get a date. So are you saying you're not likable? Is that what you're saying? You're saying you don't have the personality and the charm to have a man missing you and wanting to hear from you? You don't have the capabilities to woo a man like that? You can get his dick hard, but you can't have that motherfucker wanting to see you, right? And here's the thing, this is what women don't get. If you want that man to view you more than just somebody he can fuck on, you telling him, oh, I ain't that type of girl. That ain't it. You telling them, oh, I don't get down like that. I just met you. That ain't it. What are you doing? What action are you actually taking to show that man he should take you more serious than just someone he's fucking? Are you cooking a meal for that motherfucker? Or you taking him out on your dime? What are you doing? Or you just making yourself available so he can spend some money on you? Is that what you're doing? Is that your game plan? Or I'm just gonna make myself available. I'm gonna tell him, oh no, he can't get this pussy. He gotta take me out first and show me that he worthy of this pussy. And all I'm gonna do is show up and look cute. I ain't gotta do nothing else, but just show up and look cute. That's all I gotta do. And you wonder why a motherfucker don't want to take you out. You ain't about nothing. You ain't showing that motherfucker why. Why? Shout out to the homie Steve. We ask guys all the time, why should she fuck you? So I'm asking you women this. Why should he take you out? Can a woman answer that question? While we got guys answering, why should a woman fuck you? Women, why should he take you out? Why should he take time out of his evening, plan and schedule a date, and then spend non-sexual time with you? Why? Now, the very first date, when men who actually got some sense, men who actually know how to date, men who do not expect sex on the first date simply because they spent money. I'm talking about real fucking men, right? Beyond men doing the first date, just to feel you out, just to make sure you guys are compatible, to see if you guys would mutually like to see each other going forward. Beyond that first date, what about you is worthy of a second date, or a third, or a fourth, or a fifth? What about you? Oh, because you're cute, he like fucking you? Is that it? For a simple man that don't have no self-respect and no sense of self-value and no standards, you being cute and him wanting to fuck you is enough. For a man like myself and men of my ilk, that's not enough. Me thinking you're cute and me wanting to fuck you is not enough for me to give you access to me non-sexually where you can sit across from a dinner table and share a meal with me. It's not enough. What else you got? Are you someone that I would thoroughly enjoy spending time with, that I would thoroughly enjoy having a fucking conversation with? Are you? Ladies, are you? Are you? If you put out without a date, will he still take you out? And let me say this in closing. Let me say this. Ladies, unfortunately, there are a lot of judgmental men out here that if you have sex with them quickly, they'll automatically categorize you as not wifey. Why would you want to deal with those guys anyway? Those guys are pieces of shit, right? See, if a woman has sex with me quickly, I understand. I'm irresistible, right? She's sexually attracted to her brother. So why would I judge a woman for finding me irresistible? Why would I judge a woman for being sexually attracted to me and acting on that? I'm not judging a woman for that. But unfortunately, women, you have guys out here that will. So a lot of times these guys that won't take you out, it's not necessarily because something is wrong with you. It's because something is wrong with them.